Today we are going to go visit a different area of town, and we're going to show you some houses that we can find that are priced between $400,000 and $450,000. And the North Valleys is not an area that we have visited recently, but it is an area that is very affordable. So if we throw the map up on the screen, and we can show you as you drive on 395/580 north of town, it starts to go out towards the west. And then you're going to have Lemon Valley, Golden Valley, Stead, and Cold Springs. And that's what I kind of think of as the North Valleys. There are some other areas that people might loop into there. And Lemon Valley and Golden Valley will have some tract homes, but they'll also have some homes in those areas that are on acreage that have a lot more elbow room, that you can find properties that would be in other parts of town that might be a lot more expensive. But today we're going to go show you a house instead, and we're going to show you a house out in Cold Springs that are a little bit further out that you can still find homes between $400,000 and $450,000. Now I know the negatives to coming out to this area right now are they've been working on the freeway. So right now, certain times of day, the traffic is a mess, the freeway is a mess, and that is getting resolved because they're working on that project. But in the short term, it is a little bit of a disaster. But long term, it's going to be a good thing. And part of it is when I first lived out here, I bought a home. We're going to drive you through the front of it and show you what it looks like. Is that there wasn't nearly as many people living out here at that time that there is now. And as these areas and everything keeps growing, I know they just redid O'Brien Middle School. There's an elementary school right next door that I'm sure they're going to do the same too. As I'm driving, we're driving by some Little League fields. It is definitely improved out in these areas, but there are some pockets that are better than others. And we're going to show you what some of those pockets are today. The first home we're going to bring you by is a home that we're going to be putting on the market here in a few weeks, and it is built in the mid-1990s. The second house that we're going to show you is going to be a little bit newer. It's a little bit further out. And you'll see the house that I'm going to put for sale is in really good shape. They've done a lot of great updates, and it is the exact same floor plan as the house I used to live in. And I'm going to drive you down that street that I used to live in way back in the day and show you that house when I drove by there the other day is in much worse condition. I mean, those houses need a lot more maintenance. There hasn't been paint done on them in a while. And there's just some things that need to happen to those houses that the one we're going to list has done, and some of these others have not. So if you're looking for something affordable for younger people, first-time home buyers, potentially someone even looking to buy some rental property, these are some of the areas that people need to come to. Because if you drive out north of town a little ways, then you can find a little more affordable housing. Some of the jobs are even out this way. Like I said, the big negative is that commute time back and forth. So we've made it out to the Stead area, and we're going to show you house number one. That is a house we're going to be putting on the market here relatively soon. And I want you to see what you can get. This one's going to go on the market for $425,000. And it is pretty damn move-in ready, as far as it's got a new roof. They've done a lot of good things to it because they've lived here quite some time. And I want you to see like what people can get that I think they think that there's nothing affordable out here. And this is an area, yeah, you do have to drive a little bit and some of the negatives that we just mentioned. But I want you to see what this house looks like. We're going to show you some photos of the inside, and then you can see that there still is affordable housing. It just might be something you have to drive a little bit to. Like I said, I lived out here 30 years ago. Yes, traffic's gotten a little more difficult, but we want you to see what some of the options are. So this is 8480 Corrigan Way. What's funny is, and I didn't realize it till later, is this is the exact same floor plan I lived in when I was in my mid-20s. When you walk in, it's 1,200 and I think it's 60 square feet. You walk in that front door and there's a room that's really supposed to be a living room, dining room combo that most people just turn into a living room. And then as you loop around towards the actual kitchen, there's a space there that they typically use as the dining area. It's got a decent sized kitchen. What used to be a sliding glass door in this house, they have replaced and put an actual door in to go to the back. And they've got a decent sized backyard because again, this road that we're on starts to curve a little bit. So their front and backyard's pretty good. You can see though, you got room for RV access, something small. You got a 2-car garage. And again, they have done a lot of things this house to put it in a position where someone could move in and not have to do anything. That roof literally just got put in a week ago. So as you go up and down these streets, you can see some of these houses that are very similar. You know, there's a one story, I think it's roughly 1,000 square foot is the smallest model that you'll see out here. So you can find something potentially even under 400,000. Or if you found something that wasn't in actually great condition, you might be able to get something where you can put in some elbow grease and start to make some money as far as that stuff goes too. But then right here next to it, here's a 2-story. So there are some bigger houses depending on how many people that you have in your family or whatever you're trying to do as far as living in there goes. But again, it's clean, it's nice. Not every street and every little section is like this, but you can see you can make this work as far as most people goes and as far as their price points go. That would be a great way to get started, be a great way to get your first house. And yeah, you're gonna have to drive a little bit and head out of town, and that commute's a little bit of a problem, but they're working on that as we speak. So we are now on a street called Big River Drive. That house right there in front of you is 7770 Big River Drive. It's a house I bought. I can't remember exactly if it was 95, I think. Anyway, or 94. That house, you can see there's some green trim that's peeling and painting. There's some brown trim around the other side. And these were houses that when we bought them, you got no front yard landscaping, no backyard landscaping. They didn't have air conditioning, but you can see some of them are not in as good a shape as others. That tree literally was put there by me. So that tree was a tiny little tree when we first started, but you can see in a neighborhood like this, as we go up and down the street, there are houses that need a little TLC. So you might be able to buy something like this, which honestly, this house is exactly the same as the house over on Corrigan. Sorry, as I'm screwing up the camera work for you guys a little bit. But basically that's the same exact house. And that house probably would sell for less money because it's not in as good a shape. I've never seen it come for sale again. So the same people have owned it for a long time. The one just right next to it right there, you can see the paint is coming off the side of the house. So the closer you get towards Red Rock Boulevard, typically the newer these houses get. This section will be a little newer than we just came from. The further we go that way, they even get a little bit newer. So you can find some stuff that would work as far as saving on your budget and those kind of things. But again, there are lots of good opportunities out here in the mid-high 3s to low mid 400s. And then you could obviously go towards 500 if you get a bigger one that has more space. If you're just starting your journey to homeownership, do me a favor. Click the link in the description below. You get a copy of our free buyer's guide. It'll get you a lot of great information of what you need to know to get things started. And of course, you can always reach out to us. As we head out a little further towards Cold Springs, I want to let you know a little about the amenities out this way, which are way better than when I used to live out this way. 5 minutes from here, you can play golf at Sierra Sage Golf Course. The middle school and the elementary school, O'Brien Middle School, is literally right there, 5 minutes back. And then as you're on the freeway now, between Lemon Valley, Golden Valley, and Stead Boulevard, there is a ton now of grocery shopping, shopping centers, all the things that you're gonna need. And again, if you pull up on a map and pull up Military Road, there's some good neighborhoods and stuff back not far from here too. And so these areas, I think sometimes are a little underrated as far as, yes, it's not usually people's dreams home. And yes, people are moving out here because it's affordable. But at the same time, I think it's a great place to get started, and you're not that far away from getting back in town. I mean, from out here, you can be back at the airport in about 20, 25 minutes, as long as the weather's good and we don't have any crazy traffic. Okay, so we are now in Cold Springs. What I like about Cold Springs, they have these nice, good sidewalks with the wide, landscape marks on them. And then they have these huge trees. So what's great is you have these main drags, like if I walk out in the street more, you have these main drags, and then every one of those streets, if you go both directions, if we go slow, they're literally all cul-de-sacs. So this house that we're gonna go see right now is on Bear River Drive. It's the corner lot right here. We're getting ready to put it on the market right now. And it's 17832, so you'll be able to go look at it online, depending on how soon we list it versus when this video comes out. We're working on getting the grass redone, but this is a house here that again is going to come on the market. We don't have the exact price yet. It's going to come on the market at a relatively low, under $450,000 price. And if we walk you into the house, you're going to see, well, first off, before we walk you in the house, let me back up. You've got RV access. You got a bit of a little oversized 2-car garage. We'll show you that from the other side because you've got some more room versus the sides of the garage. And then as I walk you into the house, you can see what we have. So we basically have some new floors. We've got a little pellet stove, big room here. So it's a big living room. And then as we walk around the corner, this area here is the kitchen. Got a bunch of big space here with room. I see some people use it as a dining room. I've seen it used a few different ways that you can use for lots of different things. I've seen people set it up many different ways. But you can see this one does not have just regular Formica counters and things on those lines. That's not the original oven. And you can see it goes over and above. So these rooms are sort of connected sound-wise. And then all the bedrooms are down this way. Bedroom number 1, ceiling fans, nice blinds, big space, carpet's in great shape. Master bedroom, double closets. So not a walk-in out in these areas, but you got double closets, also a ceiling fan. And then as you come into the master, single sink, shower tub combo, pretty neutral done. Shower curtain could easily be changed if that's not something that's for you. And then as you come down towards the garage, you've got the 3rd bedroom. You've got a laundry room. Sorry, it's kind of dark in here. And then because I don't have Sydney this week and we're doing these on our own, when you come into the garage, you'll see how between the door and the wall, there's probably 3 or 4, probably 3 feet. A lot of times those things are super close together. So this one's actually a little bit bigger than normal. You've got some storage, and then you got a door that leads out to the backyard. Okay, we are now in the back corner of the yard. You got a neighbor dog barking. We got a nice wood deck though. We got some grass that we're watering again. And then over here, if someone really wanted to, you could extend that RV parking that was out in the front and come take some of this grass out or just park right on top of it and have a big RV space. The nice part is there's no air conditioner or anything on this side of the house. So it's in good shape, paint's in good shape, roof's in good shape. So I'm talking about, these are the kind of houses for people that are nice and easy. This one's only got neighbors on that one side because on that corner, there's no neighbor you're on the street. And it's always super quiet out here because again, you've got to drive in a little ways to get back to the amenities. There's not grocery stores and stuff out on the Cold Springs off-ramp. You're going to have to go back to the Stead area. But either way, like you said, not bad for a house that's going to be, you know, mid-low 400s. All right, so for those of you guys that are looking for entry-level, first-time home buyers, we get a lot of things. You know, I always talk about affordability, trying to help people find affordable housing. And I think Stead, Cold Springs, and some of the areas around here definitely make that work. And you can see right behind me, we got plenty of space, got plenty of room, and it's a really nice house. So if you have questions or want to know more about the Stead area, Cold Springs, all these North Valleys areas, we're happy to help you figure those things out because again, I think for a lot of people that, let's say you're younger and you move from California, you're just trying to get in the game, we can help you get that whole thing started out here. And yes, it's a little bit of a commute, but you will be happy as far as getting started and getting in the game to home ownership. And again, it'd be a lot more affordable out here than it is going to be in many areas of in-town and many of the surrounding cities or, you know, on the West Coast that people move here from. So there you go. Hope that helps you out and reach out if you have questions. So check out this video we did right here about all things cost of living. And today's video, of course, was all about trying to find affordable housing